In this video, I will show you how I go about coloring with my Copic alcohol markers. The tips I give in this video are not Copic specific, thus can be used with other alcohol markers. Copic markers have two nibs, one medium broad and one super brush. When coloring, I like to use the super brush because of the line variation it allows for. Some other markers have this nib as well, and this is what it looks like. If your marker does not have a brush nib, I would recommend using the chisel nib. When coloring with a brush marker, your lines will vary depending on how you use it. For blocking out large areas, you don't need to use any specific technique. However, the situation can get a little tricky when blending. To create gradients between colors or from a color to white, I use a flicking motion, which can be seen in the video. To get less streaky lines, try tilting the brush to get broader strokes. Keeping the paper wet with ink also helps the color blend, making the result less streaky. Once I've created a gradient with my first color, I move over to the next. This time I use the same technique but move my strokes in the opposite direction. This helps the colors fade together. Then, to smooth out the overlap, I come back with my first color and let the brush pick up the color to blend the gradient. I repeat these steps until I think it looks good. Again, this is much easier if the paper is wet from ink, since the marker can lift the color more easily. Therefore, you will get better results once you've gotten up to speed. If you're just getting started, my tip would be to plan out beforehand how you will color your design, where to put the shadows and so on. Then pick out your colors and have them ready. But don't feel like you have to stress. If you have a hard time blending the colors, simply layer them until they look the way you want to. This can take some practice, so I would recommend trying it out on a separate sheet of paper until you feel like you have control over your lines. I will continue using this technique until the gradient is finished, and then we'll move forward. Our gradient is now done, and you can see that the overlapping areas have been blended smoothly. Now let's try the technique and color Lenalt. Since alcohol markers mix with alcohol ink, I stamp using a water-based ink and let it dry for some time to avoid smudging. To start off, I block out our base layer. Once I think it looks even, I move on to shading. If you're unsure how to go about shading something, try looking up reference photos of the object or something with a similar shape. Also, try to think of where the light is coming from and how that would affect the shadows. One thing you can do to make your shading look more professional is to leave the lighter tones visible along the edges. Notice how I've left the sides of Lenalt's body the color of the base layer. After shading, I blend using the gradient technique to create the soft shadows. You might also have noticed that I color one area at a time. This gives me more time to blend before the colors dry. I think leaving the light edge really helps making the image look less flat. Then I finish off by coloring the eyes. And we're done. I hope this helped you in some way. If you make something using this technique, make sure to tag Gummiapan in your creations. We can't wait to see what you come up with. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in Gummiapan's products, remember to check out our online store or one of our retailers. I'll see you in the next video.